Okay, exercise 32, page 64, question 14. This is what first sight looks to be quite an awkward question because it's got more than one square root in it. We treat it like an ordinary equation initially. We're just going to get square root of t on its own somehow, like getting x on its own, because at the end of the day, x is a number, and so is the square root of t. So we're just going to get square root of t on its own, and then square to get rid of the square root. So the final thing we're going to do here is to square. But the first thing is to get root t on its own. So we use the tricks we've been using up to now. This whole term underneath I want to get rid of. So let's multiply both sides of this equation by that term that's underneath, which will get rid of it on the left-hand side. So we'll just have 2 root t on the left equals minus 2 times this term, 3 minus 2 square root of t. Now I could multiply out the brackets and then collect like terms. Or I could, in this particular case actually, if I were to divide both sides by minus 2, that would get rid of the 2 on both sides. But what I'm going to do is just multiply out the brackets, because that's the more general method, and see how we go from there. So the left-hand side just looks like 2 root t. And now we have to multiply both of the terms inside this bracket by what's outside. Not forgetting that it's negative 2 outside the bracket. So we've got a minus times a minus here, which is going to give us a plus. So minus 2 times 3 is minus 6. But minus 2 times minus 2 root t, minus 2 times minus 2 is plus 4 root t. And now we have a situation where we just treat the root t just like x, so we try and get them the same. So I'm going to subtract 2 root t from both sides. 2 root t take away 2 root t is nothing. Minus 6 plus 2 root t, because I've got 4 root t, take away 2 of them, like 4x take away 2x is just 2x, or 2 root t in this case. Add 6 to both sides. 6 equals 2 root t. Divide both sides by 2 to get rid of the 2 on the right. 6 divided by 2 is 3, equals the square root of t. Now I've got the square root of t on its own, I square both sides. So squaring 3 is 9, squaring that t. So t equals 9 is the answer. So have another look at that, or think about the steps and then apply those steps to the question in the textbook and see how you get on.